Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm here with Tweek from the Orange County Bird of Prey Center. Tweek is a great horned owl and one of our resident animal ambassadors for his species. Great horned owls don't actually build their own stick nests like you've seen other birds do. They adopt, lease, rent, and steal nests from other birds, as well as utilize outcrops of buildings, large cavities, tops of cacti. They utilize existing structures for their nesting purposes. And what can happen is, great horned owls are born out of an egg about the size of a chicken and grow relatively quickly into this size, even though they're not fully capable of flight yet. And it can get pretty crowded inside that nest structure, cavity. And what can happen as these great horned owls are growing in that nest, it can get kind of crowded. And as was the case with Tweek, he was either pushed out of the nest by his siblings or simply fell out on his own. And unfortunately, he did sustain some injuries on the way down. Luckily for Tweek, he was found by someone and able to get the care he needed for those injuries. Unfortunately, that happened in probably one of the most critical learning times in his life. Young great horned owls are learning all the skills they need to survive while in the nest. And if they're under human care being treated for injuries, they don't get that opportunity. So he doesn't know how to hunt or feed himself. And for that reason, along with the physical limitations of his injuries, he's not able to survive on his own in the wild. So he lives with us as a resident educational ambassador. And great horned owls are a wonderful species to have in your neighborhood and in your yard. One of their favorite foods is mice, rats, and gophers. So having these around will definitely help with your local rodent population as well. And we always encourage people, if you find a young owl on the ground under a tree or on a trail or somewhere, chances are that owl is actually going to be okay on its own. You don't need to do anything to intervene or help that owl. Its parents are nearby and will continue feeding or taking care of it. They have sharp claws that they can actually use to climb back up the trees if they need to. Definitely assess the situation. If there's dogs or busy roadways around, might be a good idea to either put them on a low branch of that tree or call animal control to see if they have some recommendations. But most of the time, if you see a baby owl on the ground, it's fine right where it is. It doesn't need help. A lot of times if they get brought to us, we end up having to just bring them right back to the nest they came from because their parents are going to do a better job than anyone of raising them. Great horned owls, one of the first things people notice about them is their big yellow eyes, but they don't actually have eyeballs like we do. We can move our eyes left, right, up, and down to look at things. Great horned owls have tube-like eyes that are tube structures that are fixated in their skulls. So in order to look at something, Tweek has to turn his head all the way in that direction to do it. And despite all that, despite eyes being the first thing everyone notices about these owls, that's not even their superpower. Hearing is their superpower. Owls have very acute hearing, and their ability to process sound happens a lot quicker than a lot of other animals, which helps them when locating prey, especially small, quick prey like mice, rats, and gophers. We always encourage people not to use mouse and rat poison around their houses and around their businesses. Secondary poison is a thing with all of those, so if a great horned owl eats a rat or mouse that's been poisoned, they themselves will become poison. And unfortunately, if that's mother owl doing that and bringing a poisoned rat back to the nest, now all the baby owls can get poisoned too.